What's up, guys? I've been catching up with some of the vlogs in the community. It's been a while since I've been posting, but Chugi has inspired me to create something with his really thoughtful and meaningful posts. And something that he said in his video about growing, changing. He mentioned that he feels like he's grown more in the past 5 years than he has in the rest of his life. And I'm feeling the same way, but it's more like the past year for me. And I think it's because I've embraced different ways of trying to document my life, document my thoughts. And I wanted to share some of my favorite ways with you. Obviously, we're on two of them right now, and they're kind of looking at each other. I got the Action 5, and I've got my S21 Ultra kind of looking at each other while I'm riding in the robotaxi to go visit my parents. But this hobby that I got into, fountain pens. I've got two little notebooks that I carry with me. This one's more of a wallet, and it has a notepad that I can record just in case I need to make little drawings. But this is really where I record a lot of my thoughts, a lot of stream of consciousness type of stuff. It's a A5 journal, and I got into the fountain pen, the whole fountain pen hobby using this. And you can see like my writings here. And the thing that's really awesome about fountain pens is that it doesn't really matter how good or not your handwriting is. If you've got a fountain pen, and especially if you've got a stub nib, your writing's always going to look super calligraphic. It's also going to always going to look cool. And when I was a kid in middle school, I actually had this elective class in that was calligraphy, and that was the first time I ever handled a fountain pen. And I remember thinking it was really cool back then, and then finishing that class, never touching it again. So a year ago, when I discovered that there was this whole like fountain pen community online, it got me into the hobby and actually led to me getting into journaling. And that's the first time I got really serious about journaling, about writing down my thoughts. And in the past, I feel like I've gone through life just like day at a time. I kept little planners here and there, maybe calendars on Google, but I didn't really journal. I didn't really reflect. I did all my reflection up here in the mind space. And it's crazy how different it is once you start writing things down or recording things in other ways. And this pen right here in particular, this is like, I'm not sure if I would say this is my favorite. Actually, it's probably my other one, man. Where is it? Merging away from the merging lane. That's one of the things that FSD has gotten really, really good at, man. It's amazing what this robot can do, bro. So this is my favorite pen. This is the TWSBI VAC 700R. It's got a vacuum filler. Got this little finial here. You unscrew it. When you pull this back, that releases, so this giant ink reservoir here can go in, and right now I've got like this green ink in here. I believe it was called Jane Austen. Switching the colors in the fountain pens, one of my favorite things to do. I mean, you guys probably saw some of the different colors of writing that I have in here. I switch colors fairly often. I go through ink refills fairly often because I write a lot. And watching that ink level in here go down, dwindle, one of the more satisfying things in my life personally. But this thing, it has like this design motif that I really love, which is this anodized titanium. That's what these reflective, like kind of rainbow sort of effect that you see on the pen is. So those are titanium pieces that when they run an electrical current through it, oxygen that's in the atmosphere reacts with the titanium. And I guess you could say that if iron rusts and turns to that red color and silver tarnishes, then titanium anodizes and becomes these colors. And no one piece of anodized titanium is exactly alike because the color spectrum is slightly different. So every single one of these is a little different. That's one of the things that's cool about it. But as I got into recording my thoughts on here, a month or so later, I got into another hobby, and I feel like I've reached the end game of both of these hobbies in terms of like I'm not continuing to spend more money in terms of getting like more and more stuff. Like I know there are people who collect keyboards and mechanical keyboards. This is really the only mechanical keyboard I own, but it was just actually getting one of these, and it's like a big nostalgia piece for me, because these mechanical keyboards that have these mechanical switches that have that tactile feel, right, of the buttons going down. You can kind of hear it a little bit. I mean, this is technically a silent switch. That's one thing that I didn't get in my mechanical keyboard, because like clacking and thocking would drive my wife a little nuts. So I decided to get silent switches that don't make too much noise, but I still have that really satisfying feel. And this keyboard's so portable too. I mean, it's only 40 keys. I know some people probably think like, how the hell do you use a keyboard with no numbers? But you just do layers, right? I got my space bar here, and if I hold it, Q is 1, W is 2, on and on and on. And there's a second layer for the F keys, whatever else. But I love having this. It fits in my back pocket, and I can use it with my smartphone. So if I really need to text someone a lot, or to write on my smartphone, I can type on my smartphone with this. But you notice a common theme here. These are both devices for writing, for recording things, and that's really what these cameras are too. It's for recording, for creating. So there's a common throughput in these two mini hobbies of the greater hobby, which is recording and creating. And I guess that's the main thing that I'm reacting to with Julian's posts about creating changes you, and just in the past year where I've gotten serious about creating, I've gotten serious about writing, and now about recording videos and vlogging, I can say that it's definitely changed me. And there's an irony to it too, because you think that like the big thing is, oh, write down your thoughts so that you can then pick them up and then read through them, you know? But for all of the words that I've put into these pages here, right? And the many milliliters of ink, I think I've probably gone through like 100 mils of ink in the past 10 months or so, you know? I'm not sure how many times I've actually picked up these booklets and really flipped through them and read them and looked through like what I was actually thinking. Maybe a handful of times. I've got a little shoebox that's got like dozens of these little DIY booklets. I make these booklets but with like A4 paper, fold it in half, staple it. It's way cheaper than buying notebooks, although there are some really nice notebooks and nice stationery with a nice paper feel. That's part of the hobby too. But the number of times I've actually gone through and read those, very little. I expect it'll continue to be very little, but just the act of picking up the pen and writing it, I think has changed the way I think, because you have to organize your thoughts in a more concrete way, you know? Same thing is true for when I'm on here vlogging, or if I'm typing things in Google. I'm not sure how many times I'm gonna rewatch these videos in the future. Maybe a handful of times. Maybe me in the future will be seeing this in 2030, 2032, whatever. But just the act of creating, like Jugi said, changes your mind, changes something in the mental wiring up here. And it's been really interesting to go through that change, feel that change, a sense of like becoming something different than the static character you've been stuck in before you started creating, before you went on this journey, right? And one other thing that I think is interesting is that of these three mediums that we have, right? Old school, most analog, you know, this anachronistic fountain pen that has that very specific feel. It really is just about feels. And then typing into a Google Docs with a mechanical keyboard, it's also about the feel. And now with the visual media that is these cameras, who'd have ever guessed that in my lifetime, in 30 years, the oldest most reliable, lowest tech technology would also have the lowest longevity. Because of these different ways we can record things, this can be gone so easily. So easily. It's just a piece of paper. It can disappear. It can fall into a fire. It can get rained on. I mean, fountain pen ink is all water soluble. So if this gets wet, all your writing that was in here just goes away. And then a Google document, it's by default private, right? And once you go, who knows who's going to open it? Who knows who's going to read it? People are less inclined to read things versus watching things in the first place. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll have something published. I mean, that is an ambition of mine, to be a published author, but that's for a different video. But YouTube videos, once they're on there for forever, man. There's like no sign of us slowing down in terms of the number of databases, of hard drives that we're creating, of like backups to backups to backups, of all the servers and cloud computing. And they're saying that by 2028, 12% of all electricity will be just used for server farms. It's crazy, right? And it had me thinking about someone I hadn't thought about in a long time, the Double Rainbow guy. I'm not sure if you guys remember. You guys remember the Double Rainbow guy? He made that viral video in 2010. Double rainbow all the way across the sky. That was such a simpler, more innocent time, wasn't it? The internet and YouTube was so less developed, less optimized at that time. It was a happier place. But that dude, his YouTube channel is still active. It's posting new videos every day. Every day a new video comes up. And the actual dude, Bear Velasquez, I think that was his name, he's been dead for like 5 years. He died during the coronavirus thing. And when I was reading into him, there were like articles that quoted him and said that he had recorded like 15 years worth of content, uploaded it to YouTube, and it was scheduled to be released a little bit at a time. So he's been dead for 5 years. His YouTube channel's been releasing new videos every day and will continue to release new videos for at least the next 10 years. And even when it's done, he's still going to be on there forever. That's crazy to think about, right? Like a video as simple and as innocent and as beautiful as the Double Rainbow video, it's there forever. And the guy is still creating from beyond his grave. Like, you look at his channel, it says that he's been uploading since 2005 or 2006, like the very first days of YouTube. Man, how much did his practice of vlogging and uploading these tiny little, I mean, a lot of his videos are just little 45-second clips of like, oh, with Meg in the hot tub, like, oh, moving the chickens around with these different woofers, but those are all pieces of a life, pieces of a man that are going to be on there for forever. It's crazy to think about. And I don't know what else to think about it beyond that, but it does, like, to loop it all the way back to like, Jugi is creating change in you. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it changed the Double Rainbow guy. I think it sure is changing me. And I want to get more consistent on this, post more vlogs. Hopefully not all of them are as openly talking about morbid things like that, but it is interesting to see like my personal evolution. Fountain pen, mechanical keyboard, and now the camera. All the different ways you can create and record. Just keep doing them, guys. Man, I still got another hour and some change in this robotaxi. What am I gonna do? I don't know. But that's all I got for you guys. West Coast.